In this tutorial, I will explain and demonstrate how the client coverage policy works and some of the key components that were developed in the process. So a little background on this, the client coverage policy search was actually an assessment that I had to do through an employer for an interview process. And so I decided to do this through ASP.NET MVC5 and to use Entity Framework with this. So a lot of what you will see is based off of the Entity Framework um, design pattern, as well as code first migrations for the database. All right, so let's get started. So this is a very simple form, and um, all these records were transferred from an Excel spreadsheet. So there's literally over 1,000. But the whole point of the project was to create a search and to filter out various results based off of search queries or search strings. So, like, say for example, if you were to place in a last name, it would pull up. Let's do this one. It would pull up a user, James LeBate, and then all of his information right there. Now, if the user did not know the individual's last name, they could always try and search through first name. And then it's going to pull up everything for the first name. Or if they have a specific policy number, they could do that, or they could do a partial policy number search. And it's going to pull up everything with those search strings or parameters. Or they could search by gender. By state. Or face amount. Now, say for example, the admin wanted to edit the details or list the details or even delete them. They could do so. So let's go ahead and click on details. Now this is a clean layout. You could go ahead and click on the edit button, and that directs you, or edit link that directs you to the edit page where you could edit any of the information that is provided for this individual. And then what it's going to do is it's going to update the database based off of the information that is edited. And then if the user chooses not to edit anything, they could always go back to the list. There's a shortcut. And then, of course, they could always delete. Now, deleting, I mean, there is going to be a warning label right here. Are you sure you want to delete this? So it's going to ask you this before you click on the delete button. Because once you delete it, it's done. And of course, all this is HTTP post get HTTP delete as well, using the CRUD method: create, read, update, and delete. So it's a very simplistic way of doing a search in MVC. And one more thing, you could also create an actual client. So let's do Smith, Jane, and we could do and 65. Oh. And then let's do a and then just make up some numbers. Now you notice here, this is actually validated, and I'll show right in the script where the validation is comes into play. But this actually did what it was supposed to do. And then let's just do a base amount for the insurance policy. So let's search for it. And there you go. And the same rules apply: edit, delete, or edit details and delete. Okay, let's go to the code. I'm going to break down how this was built. And of course, with MVC, you have to place in tag helpers for text box controls. Also, any type of control you need a tag helper to display information. You need tag helpers. Also, with action links, the developer needs to place in a tag helper. So everything with MVC is quite different from ADO.NET or ASP.NET prior to version, prior to the MVC 5. So standard web applications, a developer could just go to the toolbox and then just drag and drop either into the ASP.NET code or into the layout. But MVC is just a tad bit different, and so those tag helpers really do come in handy. And so basically all this does is there's a table, and then it lists out each element or each column based off of the criteria that was placed into the database. Create, same thing. You have the form. You can create a listing, and then that posts into the database. Details, same method, HTML helpers, edit, so on and so forth. It's the same thing for the delete. Now here's the code. Here's the code behind for this. So let's start with the client's controller. Now the client's controller, like I said, I used the entity framework on this. And so breaking it down, entity framework actually controls a lot of what's going to be displayed and demonstrated into this controller. But right off the bat, we have to call the DB context in order for the database to work. And then this is for the main page. And then this is all the search criteria. So for the drop-down list, for the gender, It needs to return either M or F, male or female. Then it provides it in a list form. And then it does, well, first it submits a query from D in the database, an order by the gender. Then we add the range. And then it's going to select it based off of the search criteria. Same with the state. We have the state list and then the query. Then it has to list the state, or order by the state rather. And that's just a an ordering that I placed in there. So should have could have gotten fancy with it and ordered by ascended and descended, but I made this as simple as possible. And then also the face amount, same thing. And then here is a standard search criteria for the text box controls: last name, first name, and policy number. And then this provides if statements for everything. So if the string is null or empty, still have to list it anyway. And then it goes down the form. Now, if the drop down list for the gender and state return null, then it lists all available queries. So the MVC is going to look for whether or not this information is filled in. If it's not, then it's going to list everything in general terms. Now, if it is filled in, it's going to list the information based off of the criteria, the query. And then this is the action result for the details page. And then this is actually defaulted criteria that MVC or Entity Framework created. So I'm not going to really get into it too much. It's just this lists out the details. It then provides a status code if it's a bad request. That, or if there's no information for the file or the client, it's going to do a HTTP not found. But in the case of this project, there's always information for the client. And then create. This is the create view. And then this is a HTTP get. Then this is HTTP post for the post. So we're going to post the information that's filled out when everything is binded, when it's created. So again, it's going to go ahead and bind all the information that the user fills out to create a new client. And then if it's valid, then it's going to add the client, save the changes, and then redirect back to the main table or index. Same with the edit. Edit is going to edit that information. Also, if there is nothing right over here, if the ID is null, it's going to give a bad request. If the client has no information, it's going to redirect back into that 404 page. And then the post. Again, same with the create method right above. We have edit, and then it's going to bind the information that's filled out into text box controls. If it's valid, then it's going to save, then redirect back to the index. And then I should point out that on the post, if anything is left blank, it's going to validate it. So this is where the validation comes in. And the same with the create method. And then delete, it's the same thing. So, all right. And then to the client model. Then here's our criteria that I set up for the ID. I made that a primary key in the database. Made sure that the string length is a required minimum of 3, and it's a max of 60. So, I mean, the last name could be up to 60 characters, which is an extremely long last name. So, the user does have some room to type out. Same with the first name, gender, string length 6 characters, minimum 1. Date of birth. This is where the calendar comes in. I made a data type for the date, and that's where the user could click on the calendar and it'll pop up. Place that information in the control. And then everything is required. So it's gonna just do the validation checks. So if something's left blank, it's gonna let the user know to fill it in. And then now for the validation for the actual currency for the face amount, it's going to convert this into a currency form. Issue state min length is 2, and if they wanted to type out the state, they have up to 10 characters, etc. And then one more thing, this is the database we're using. So again, this is Entity Framework with the code first migrations. And here's all that information. And there's the newest user that I created right there. Okay, well, this about does it. Oh, and then the layout, one more thing. The layout is in its own file and is shared throughout the entire project. And then we have a bootstrap layout. All right, so that does it for this explanation. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And this is posted on GitHub. I'm going to include the link within this video description on YouTube. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through email. All right, thank you very much.